gavel fell with a sharp crack. "Mr. Klein," the judge intoned, his voice flat and official, "do you comprehend that you are being requested to furnish child support for the minor child involved?" My sister, Claire, squeezed my husband's hand harder. "My husband, Ethan." She stood next to him, chin lifted high, a practiced quiver in her tone. "She promised to accept full responsibility," Claire declared. "After all, the baby was conceived while they were still married." My mother nodded from the public seats, tears shining at the edges of her eyes. Not for me, but for them. My father's face wore the heavy mask of disapproval. At me, I simply smiled. That was the instant they all assumed I had finally shattered. But I hadn't, not even remotely. Claire had always coveted whatever belonged to me. My outfits, my circle of friends, my parents' approval, and ultimately my husband. I once believed it was innocent jealousy, the sort that dissolves with maturity. But jealousy, when nurtured long enough, turns into ravenous appetite. Ethan and I had tied the knot 5 years earlier. He was magnetic, calculated, reserved in a manner that others confused for gentleness. I confused it too. He named me his anchor in the chaos. I thought that signified love. I didn't realize it signified expediency. It began subtly. Her name slipping from his mouth too frequently, her contact flashing on his screen with flimsy justifications. She needed guidance, he'd insist. She was isolated. I tried to trust him, until her name surfaced on the hotel bill sent to him. 2 evenings, identical suite, identical dates as his work trip. When I challenged him, he offered no denial. He merely gazed at me, eyes empty, and said, "You've always been too aloof, too detached." Claire gets me. It wasn't merely betrayal. It was ridicule. I didn't weep, not at that moment, not ever. Tears are bargaining chips to individuals like them, and I had already spent far too much. Instead, I passed the following 6 months in quiet. I initiated divorce proceedings without fanfare. I didn't yell, didn't point fingers. I endorsed documents with unwavering fingers. They assumed I was surrendering, but I was constructing. While they flaunted their infidelity in public, pregnancy reveal, family gatherings, my mother's social media caption hailing the infant as a blessing born of true affection, I labored. I followed the money. I examined Ethan's corporate records, and I discovered it. The financial breadcrumbs. The investment he secured using my identity on the paperwork. Forgery. Signed, time-stamped, authenticated. So I smiled when I passed him the pen at the divorce agreement. The papers transferred to him full control of the real estate, the vehicle, and the firm. All properties officially titled in his name, not mine. What he failed to grasp was that I had already submitted a complaint tying those properties to fraudulent dealings. He inherited the disaster, and I departed unscathed. The baby arrived 2 months later, a daughter. My parents demanded I come see her, to mend fences. I went, driven by intrigue, not sympathy. Claire appeared luminous in that self-satisfied, radiant manner shared by fresh mothers and plunderers. She extended the infant toward me, smile syrupy. "You can cradle her. She's your blood too." I bent near enough for her to catch the serenity in my whisper when I murmured, "Blood must be earned, Claire, not pilfered." Then arrived the legal notice. They argued Ethan couldn't manage child support. The business had imploded. The lender had confiscated the residence, and his funds were locked pending probe. They accused me, insisted it was my orchestration. I allowed them that illusion. So here we stood, in the courtroom, Claire's voice shaking in a staged display of helplessness, Ethan mute at her side, my parents scowling as if I had torched a sacred temple. When the judge inquired if I wished to speak, I stood, deliberately, steadily. "Yes, Your Honor," I replied, "I do." Advanced. Beyond being my spouse, Ethan Klein was also my business associate. Prior to our split, he obtained numerous loans in my name without my permission. I reported the forgery. Proof was filed months ago. The chamber buzzed with whispers. I continued, "Regarding the child, I bear her no ill will, but I will not bankroll deception. Every record, every ledger, Every transaction was masterminded by Ethan and approved by Claire. Under oath, I can supply evidence. My sister's complexion drained. Ethan's hold slackened. The judge demanded silence, but the damage was done. The facts had exploded. Their attorney faltered. My parents shifted toward me, bewilderment overtaking certainty. Claire hissed something to Ethan, something frantic, but I paid no heed. I observed the instant it all crashed over them, the awareness that they had erected their fresh start on a scam so meticulously recorded that disentangling it would demand years. The session adjourned. Journalists lingered outside. I strode past them, unperturbed. Behind me, I caught my mother shouting my name, pleading for me to repair what they had destroyed. I didn't turn around.
Subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss a twist. Stay tuned to Reddit Tales Times for your daily dose of drama, laughs, and unbelievable stories.